you want me to open?
Go ahead and open.
Okay, I'm gonna open.
Keep quiet.
Oh, I think you're gonna have to because the camera is facing you.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you have to. Camera is facing you.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of Valley Homes on TV, the Coleman edition. And this evening we are going to have a special show. We're going to be talking about the Campbell Veterans Memorial that is going to be built in the city of Campbell. And I have my co-host here, Marika Saliba, and two guests, Mike Katowski, Campbell City Councilman, and Ken Estep, who is one of the board members, along with myself, on the foundation that runs the Veterans Memorial and is in the process of trying to build it. And we welcome you. We hope you enjoy this evening's show. This is a community-wide project that we think is really interesting and really important that we get it done and done correctly. We want to show you some of what's being planned so that you can see what they're going to build there in Campbell, and also talk to you about how you might be able to participate and memorialize or commemorate a family member or a loved one who has been in the military. So let me say good evening to Marika and Mike and Ken.
Lloyd, it's always good to be here on your show.
Well, good. Thank you, Marika.
And I love this topic. It's a great topic. It's very timely, I think, that we do something wonderful like that.
Yes.
So let's get to our guests.
Yes. Mike, Ken, the three of us have had the pleasure for serving for, what, almost 3 years now on the foundation board. And once the idea was brought up to build a Campbell Veterans Memorial, there was a group of people, Jim Free and Dan Furtado, just a number of people here in Campbell that got together and formed the beginnings of this foundation and started working on it. We've worked with the city of Campbell and their planning department to come up with a design and a location, and at Monday night's city council meeting it was formally approved, so we are now free to begin the process of raising funds. Yes. and it brings me great pleasure to take and be able to be here and be talking about this. And Mike has had to step off of our board because of his election to the city council. But initial comments, gentlemen, before we start through the presentation. Yes.
Well, I started on the board as a founding charter member, and of course at that time I did not plan on running for the city council. But the things change, and I stepped off our board and went ahead and ran for the city council and was successful. But I'm staying on board, so to speak, to do the fundraising, or at least to direct it. And we're having our first fundraising meeting this coming Friday. And Ken, I don't know where you're at on that, but
actually, I'll be there Friday, and I'm very excited to be a part of this program and contributing to the city of Campbell in something that's quite momentous. I mean, it's an amazing thing to honor our veterans and to have something in our own city to do so.
Yes.
Was asked to be a part of the charter member, helped involved in selecting the site, the overall site, left to the executive committee, and just an amazing group of people that are working this, and an amazing process to be involved with. In working with our city government, our local city government, and learning a lot from our council member and other members of the board.
It's been a very interesting process. I never thought about how you got something like this accomplished. While at times it seemed like endless meetings and very little progress, once we got settled on a site, and that was
Where is it going
about
to
a
be?
year ago. It's going to be right by the Campbell City Hall.
Wonderful.
Once we got settled on a site, then things seemed to move relatively quickly. Selected an architect and designer for it, and they've come up with a really nice design. And part of what we want to do this evening is actually show you some of that design work. And in fact, why don't we have the first slide, and we'll step through a couple of the slides and then we'll stop. This is going to be the focal point of the memorial. This is the big olive tree that's right outside the mayor's office there at Campbell City Hall. And you can see the part of the memorial flows around that. And if you'll bring up the next slide, that gives you sort of a bird's eye view, and we're going to show you in a moment a camera shot of the model of it, because it's a little easier to visualize in the model than it is looking at these illustrations of it. But the entire memorial consists of a plaza, a fountain, and that olive tree, and a wall that has commemorations and stuff on it. The plaza will be made up of paving stones in which people can have their loved ones' names and dates of service and stuff engraved to commemorate them. If we're ready to do the shot of the model, why don't we do that, because that'll make it a little plainer what the memorial looks like. You can see there you've got the olive tree in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and the fountain up there with the flags sitting right above the amphitheater there in the Campbell City Hall green. And if you would bring up the next slide then, and there we go. That gives you a plan of it. The library is off to the right, the City Hall is there to the left, and then the memorial is the darker areas on the drawing. And the next slide. This slide, I wanted to show this because this shows how you can commemorate those family members and loved ones, or an organization such as we have illustrated here, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the local. Those things will be available for people to commemorate their loved ones, and the prices on those the contribution, I guess you would say, not a price really, contribution, they start at about $125. We wanted to make it so that everybody could afford to commemorate their family members. And then the next slide, please. This illustrates the bronze casting that's going to be up by the olive tree. The tradition is always had for a fallen comrade the boots and the gun and the helmet, and normally they are at attention. Here they're very relaxed, showing that hopefully we're at peace and that peace will continue. So that not only is this a memorial to those who have